Hello everybody, welcome back to another watercolor tutorial. I am trying to go along with the whole thing of showing you like as much of this area as possible so you can see my color mixing and what colors I use, but I cannot do it the whole time because I'm pretty sure that you would prefer to see what I'm painting close up rather than the palette. So I'm just going to start off in this view because it is because I'm painting the background and you don't need to see close-ups. So as usual, I am not prepared, so I'm just cleaning off a little patch of my mixing tray here. So we're going to be painting another abstract landscape. This is kind of like a mill hayfield type of landscape. So I have my piece of paper in landscape position and I taped the borders so that the edges are nice and clean. And the other thing that the tape does is it prevents the water from going underneath and like to the sides of the piece of paper, which prevents buckling in my experience. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a light blue, like a sky blue, baby blue. Naturally, there's green in my paintbrush, so this sky blue is not sky blue. It's like some kind of green. And I'm going to apply it like 2/3 of the way down, maybe even at a slight angle, like so. And we're just applying it and covering that whole top. I'm going to make mine a little wee bit darker. I'm going to actually grab another blue that's slightly darker and just add a little bit of that in there. Whoops. Okay, this is too much blue here, but I will fix that in a moment. Because this is abstract, I'm trying not to be super detail oriented. I'm grabbing yellow now and applying it to the bottom third. Now, I do want to leave just a tiny white gap, and this is because I'm going to apply green to separate those two. I'm going to switch brushes actually, and so we're going to grab a green. I've got like quite literally 8 greens to choose from here. It doesn't matter. I'm going to probably change mine up a bunch of times anyway. And I'm just applying it in between the yellow and the blue. And I'm letting it bleed out because one, it's an abstract painting. It's supposed to just be like all over the place. I mean, probably not. But we give ourselves grace because this is supposed to be an abstract painting. So I've taken a slightly more greenish green. I know my vocabulary is just top notch. I guess this one has a little bit more blue in it than the first one that we used. That one was more of like a yellowy green. So I'm just painting over top of that first bit because I want to make it look like there's trees growing in the distance. And I'm going to take another green, although that one has way too much blue in it. I want it to be a little bit warmer. Or maybe, do I want a cooler one? I don't know. Let's experiment. Let's try different. No, I want mine to be more of like a grayish blue. That's nice. That's nice, but you don't have to be this particular. I mean, it is an abstract painting, so you shouldn't have to worry about little color details like this. I don't think you ever need to worry about color details. A lot of people are not a fan of the fact that I don't mention color names and whatnot, but I really think it's irrelevant in the grand scheme of things, and that is why I don't give color name. Well, I don't even have the color names, but I mean, a blue is a blue, a green is a green. Yes, there's different shades, but if you only have one green, you can manipulate it with black to make it darker. You can add yellow to make it warmer, blue to make it cooler. This is not the channel for color theory, so like I do encourage you to check out other watercolorists if you want the specifics on color mixing, because I've never taken formal painting classes, or I don't know color theory, so I kind of just go from intuition, and I understand that not everybody has that when it comes to painting. That's why you're watching a video, but I don't want to limit people by saying, oh, you need this color of green, and then they think they can't paint it. I forgot with the sky, of course I forgot. I wanted to paint on clouds, and what I was going to do is lift off the blue, but I don't want to do that now. No, I'm probably still going to do that, because when I just tried applying white, it kind of turned green because my water is now slightly green. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do, I took some toilet paper because I'm in my bathroom, and I'm using the toilet paper to take off the blue. So I just kind of folded it up like this, and I'm just dabbing, and you can dab, like apply more pressure to take more off, and less pressure to take less off. But I do want it to look like a nice cloudy sky. And you can always, this might not work now because mine might be a little too dry at this point. You can always like dab some blue back in there for a bigger contrast between the clouds and the sky. Yeah, mine's kind of dry already. But I'll leave it like that. I'm okay with that. It's abstract, guys. Remember, keep that in mind. That is something even I struggle with these things, is keeping in mind we are painting an abstract painting. Doesn't have to be hyper detailed, but I am going to take some gray now and add it to the clouds here, just to the base of the clouds, and then I'm gonna go with just water on my paintbrush and spread it out and kind of blend it in, because I want there to be a contrast, so it looks like these clouds have some volume. You don't have to do that, honestly. I don't think it made much of a difference. And one of the things I say in my abstract paintings, because I must say I've been kind of on a roll with my abstract paintings lately, is what makes an abstract painting, in my opinion, really beautiful, and like you can tell what it is in the end and whatnot, is you choose one element that you make it's like your focus detail. It's very detailed, and it's just that one thing that makes your whole painting what it is. And so typically for me, that's a fence. It could be like a person in the distance. I'm just applying another green line below here. I wanted it to kind of have a double horizon, but it's not looking like what I wanted it to look like. So you don't have to apply this second green line like I am. And then the other thing that I forgot to do is I wanted to make my yellow a little darker and apply some like orange and other not highlights, but little specks in there so that it didn't look so bland. So I'm still gonna try to do that. Oh, it is cold in my, so I painted my bathroom for anyone that is wondering why I so easily have access to toilet paper. And I talked about it so many times, but all in all, it's because my house is small and the bathroom has the best lighting. And yeah, today it's very cold. The house is cold and we heat with a wood stove. So when I close the door to the bathroom, I have no heat coming in here. So it's very chilly. Okay, I am just looking. So I know right now this doesn't look like very much, and I am concerned myself. I don't know if this is going to end up working out. But what we're gonna add about right here is a windmill or some sort of windmill house. Sorry, I just heard water flowing and I got really concerned because I'm in the bathroom and no faucets are on, but then I remembered our laundry machine is on. Okay, we're gonna paint like a windmill house here, and that is going to be the focal point. That's gonna be that one detailed item in our painting that's gonna hopefully make this whole painting come together, but I do need to let this I need to let this completely dry before I start painting anything on. Okay, so we are back and I'm going to do a close-up now so that you can see the details of the little house, windmill house that I'm painting. So by the way, this is inspired by Alessia Rosin 77. And so I'm just looking at how she painted this windmill house. These things always make me nervous when I have to paint houses because I'm not very good at angles and perspective. And so I kind of spent a little while looking at it to make sure I don't mess up. We can always go back with white acrylic paint and do touch-ups. So I'm gonna do the base of this windmill, which appears just to be two separate houses. It's kind of hard to tell. But I'm using gray. And I'm just painting like a house front first to give myself a little guide. And then another house beside it that appears to be a little bit taller. So I have the little triangle roof and then like this. And then our windmill is gonna be, I don't know, it looks like maybe there's separate entities, and instead of being attached, it's really hard to tell from this reference photo that I'm looking at. I might just end up doing my own thing because I don't really understand what's going on here. So then I'm painting the actual windmill. I don't even know if it's a windmill or a mill or what it is, but it has a windmill on it. And it has a little pointed, curved roof like this. And then the windmill is sort of here at the top, but I'm gonna paint that afterwards. And I'm going to mix in a little bit of black now because it's more of like a navy blue actually. So I'm gonna pick up a little bit of my navy blue and mix it with this strange black brown mixture I made. And we're gonna have this windmill have like two shades because the sun is coming from here. So it's gonna look like this. And I just want to be mindful of my little house outlines. And I'm gonna add a little bit of black in a moment to the part that we just painted. Just the very end, the left side I mean, because I want there to be a contrast. Actually, I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry, I meant to say that the sun is coming from this angle. It would not make sense if I'm painting shading and a shadow on the side that the sun is shining on. So that's fine the way it is. And then I'm gonna water that down. Whoops. Oh my gosh, guys, this drives me nuts sometimes. I should have, luckily it's still a little wet, so I can combine those two without there being a super harsh divide there. I really am not a fan of the fact that that bled out. It's very annoying. Same with this roof part. Okay. It's a very delicate process, as you can see. But as I said, it is the one detail that you choose that makes the painting come together fully. So I'm just taking pure black now and painting the roofs of these houses, and I'm leaving just the tiniest little gap in between so there's a distinction between the roofs and the windmill and whatnot, because otherwise it might look like one big blob. And there's supposed to be trees here that this roof fades into, but naturally I didn't paint them, or maybe we can paint them after. Now, the thing with this, I'm gonna try using my white watercolor because it appears that these houses have a white siding. So my white watercolor is very opaque, but I think acrylic paint would probably be more suitable. I mean, it's not bad. I'm actually happy so far with this. I'm adding a little bit of gray just on the inside of some of the roofs for shading. Like so. Oh, I'm sorry. I really hope that was on the screen. I don't pay attention all the time, clearly. Actually, I am realizing now that this windmill thing comes down like that. That looks better, I think. And then the roofs as well of the houses appear to have little white accents on them like that, but I'm getting like really into the details here. You don't have to be as specific as I am being. I'm taking green and mixing it. I'm trying to figure out like what color I want for this shrubbery that's going to take over the house area here. You can, I guess, add a few different shades or colors of green to mix it up a little bit. Top of one another like this. Okay. So I've been making an effort in my tutorials lately not to talk about things not pertaining to the painting. Please let me know if you want me to continue this or you prefer me filling in the boring, quiet gaps with random stuff from my life. Because I have a lot of things to say. I have a lot of things I could ramble on about. Okay, so where are we gonna go next? I think we have to let this totally dry before we kind of add all the details to this. So this should be dry. I'm going to take black and this part makes me nervous, painting the windmill part of this. So I'm gonna have my windmill center point right there. Let me see if I can go even closer for you guys. And I'm gonna have it coming out like that. I think I need more water so that it glides a little easier, but not too much because you don't want it to be a blob. So I have two lines going like this, and then I'm gonna have another two lines basically going at a 90-degree angle to each other. Okay, we haven't messed up yet. So, and then you're gonna have the wings or whatever of your windmill going. Just make sure you paint them on the opposite sides of one another. So like the angled part is here, so it's gonna be here, it's gonna be here, and it's gonna be here. So to the right side, right? No, to the left. I guess it depends on what angle you're looking at this. Then I'm adding little cross hatches, I guess I can call them. This is supposed to be abstract, so don't worry about being too specific with this part. Like that. And then I also want to add doors and maybe, yeah, a little window on our house. So a little semicircle. Not really a fan of how that turned out, but I am gonna just take white watercolor and add little accents to the windows and the doors. To make it look, I don't know, adding the white improves the look, so that's why I did it. The thing is, looking at this now, I'm not a fan, like the roofs dried a lot lighter than I would like them to be. Like I wanted them to be very dark. So I am just going over them. It's gonna start. Okay, so I'm okay with that, I think. For an abstract painting, this is taking an awful long time. So I understand if you want to forego some of these details, like the little houses that we painted, you don't have to paint those. Even right now, like I'm going in with a little bit of black watercolor and just adding some accent lines, just to give this painting a little bit more like contrast, so that all of the colors don't look super muted. So I'm going in with white and just adding like white highlights. And I don't have a reason for where I put them. I just paint them and hope for the best. Yeah, I quite like this, I think. Just adding a little thing on the windmill there. I don't know why. I actually don't like that, so. Okay, so I think I'm happy with that. I'm gonna stop there. You're always welcome to add more, like you can add birds or something. Actually, sorry, one more thing. Oh my gosh, this is my tendency. This is what I do. But I'm gonna take green and just do a little thick razzle dazzle. I just want to flick some paint essentially onto the kind of tree line area, because it's for the same reason as we added those little lines at the bottom. That's why I want to add these specks. I just want to provide some contrast to these, like this flat color, if that makes any sense. So that is our painting. I always have trouble taking this tape off. There we go. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.